We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Sit and Talk. You know how this works. I'm going to sit here and talk for about 30 minutes. I'm going to read comments from the last video. Last week it was Quirk, and he has left me some comments and questions, I believe. I have not read them again, because I feel that if I just go off the cuff, they are much better responses, and I ramble off into more stories. Next week is Luca, Mr. the Dice. You can leave comments for him in the next video on this video here on MiniWarGaming.com. Not on YouTube. The comments are disabled here because it's just easier to get them from MiniWarGaming. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know why we still disable them on YouTube. Rob, why are you laughing? Okay, so the room has Quirk playing World of Warcraft, Josh sitting right across from me, and Vito, who's absolutely red and laughing. What, did I miss something?
No, but you said disabled kind of funny.
You said disabled.
Okay, so that's how this week's Sit and Talk is going to go. I actually forget. Why do we still disable comments on YouTube?
It's just easier to pull them off.
I don't believe that's the case anymore.
That's always been the reason to do it that way, so I don't know.
Okay, so go to
MiniWarGaming.com
MiniWarGaming.com, and this video's on the website as well, and just put the comments there, and I'll get right to it, and expect a lot of these people. All right, Steve, this is from Mick Vito, I don't know what you said, but I'm warning you, this is a family-friendly show.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Steve, which direction do you think Games Workshop taking the High Elves going in AOS? Will they even, will they get even more prim and proper, or finally have their faults brought to light? Well, first of all, I'm going to put my phone out so I can keep track of the time, because I didn't even think of that. And no, I don't think you're going to see High Elves, as it were, in AOS anytime soon, or even ever. I think from the lore, we know Tyrion, his elves are more angelic and winged. Is that the correct? Is that what you say? Winged? Winged?
Wing?
Is it winged or winged?
Wing?
I didn't go to school.
They got wings.
They got wings. Yeah, so I think those are more like the high elf version of them. I remember, like, everything kind of like has evolved 1,000 years. Prim and proper, or have more. You know what? They can do anything now. The elf trope is meaningless now in AOS. They can do anything they want now. We have basically undead water elves, or soulless water elves is a better way to describe them. So no, I don't think you're gonna see high elves the way you'd expect to have seen high elves if we're talking about like 2 years ago or whenever this game came out. I think the high elf idea is gone, or I could be completely wrong. Who knows? Zarnell, Steve, hi. Quirk is playing World of Warcraft. I want to mention on this video as well, a good majority of us are playing World of Warcraft. Josh, Quirk, Drewski, Mike. I feel like I'm forgetting some.
Can't prove I'm playing it.
Hunter's playing. We're all on the Storm Rage server on the Horde. If you want to come join us, we have a mini Wargamers guild we just put together. If you want to come play with us, by all means, come and join us as I continue down the line. Zarnell, Steve, hi. First of all, thank you for creating great content. Now the question, how would you tackle Space Wolves with a Chaos Space Marine army in a 1250 or 2,000 point game without using allies? See, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Are you saying you play Chaos and you want to know how to fight Space Wolves? Because if you're asking, if that sounds like how you're asking it, but if you're asking that question, you shouldn't have a problem. Chaos Space Marines are, I'm not going to call the Codex by themselves super top tier, but they're up there. You can definitely do very well with Chaos Space Marines. Okay, so things I worry about against Space Wolves are the Wolfen. They're fast. If you roll those 3-up invulnerables, they'll survive all the way across the field as they run and chop your face off. You don't want to fight them in combat. You want to shoot the Wolfen. Do not get into combat with them with anything. Unless you're playing against my buddy Ben, in which case you'll make every one of your 5-up invulns, so you're fine. Space Wolf stuff. What's the worry about nowadays? They suffer. Yeah, no, well, okay, well, so first of all, they suffer from being Marines, right? So they're kind of crap.
I think it's, I want to say spamming long things is what people are doing now.
Oh, right, that's true. Josh is right. So, yes, long things. You got to worry about their long things. Helldrakes are great for getting to the long fangs. Helldrakes are phenomenal for getting the long things, and Obliterators are just great. And honestly, a lot of cultists. If you want to give me a more detailed explanation of the problem you're running into, I can definitely help you out. But yeah, I don't know. Steve, Josh mentioned something about the Thunderwolf Cavalry. They're not what people expected them to be. They're not what they used to be. They're not these strength 10, toughness 5, super durable powerhouses anymore. But they do have a lot of attacks. I don't think they're bad by any means, but yeah, they're not what they used to be. So you just gotta get that whole mindset out of your head there, Josh. There's not what they used to be, and there's something different now. Janky Nib, Steve, hope you having a stress-free day today. I am. I got one big question for you. I just got all my Idoneth Deepkin in and want some help on some tactics on how to beat Stormcast, Nurgle, and Nighthaunt. Ooh. 3 armies I have not played against at all. Army composition, aspect of the sea, You're listing what you have. You have 1 aspect of the sea, 2 soul renders, 1 soul crier, scryer, 1 tidecaster, Lotan, a king, Volturnos, Leviathan. Yeah, you have 20 thralls, 20 reavers, 3. You have everything you need. 3 Morsar, 3 Shading Guard, 1 Alopex. Okay. So aspect of the sea I'd put in the list for sure. He's just awesome. I'd bring all 3 of your Ishling Guard. Probably your Morsar Guard as well. They're pretty good at just jumping in. And you can't go wrong with Thralls or Reavers. The Leviathan must be in the list. It's too good. It's not about army composition. It's about being patient. You can play Deepkin not patient and do absolutely fine. But if you're patient and keep the scenario in mind, you will have an advantage. You have more speed and durability over most armies. So just try to set up a good turn 3 destruction. Have everything charging on turn 3 all at once if you can, without putting yourself at risk of losing on scenario. That's all you have to really do. That's 2K Philip. And keep up the good content. Tell Matt to keep you in all the AOS campaigns. You're too funny when you don't know what to do. I never know what to do. I feel like I'm talking really fast. Dorn Jr. I'll be very quiet. You'll read your phones and play World of Warcraft. That's fair. So you feel free to say anything. Reddit to do indeed, dude. Dorn Jr. The worst prime deck ever, by the way. Useless. The nothing good ever. Useless. He's useless. Yeah, he's useless. Steve, getting philosophical. Ooh, we're getting philosophical. This is the rest of the video now. Whatever this question is the rest of the video. I see comments about how awesome guests are that should work for MiniWarGaming. Taking Mitch, for example, how do we know he doesn't have a great career that pays twice as much as he would make being a content producer, and this is his hobby to enjoy life and relax? I feel the assumption that this is a job that is automatically better than another, even though it is a great job and fun, is a mistake for a hobby-based pastime. Okay, so this is interesting. This is not very philosophical though, but we have a bunch of people in the room that can actually chime in. We haven't talked about this in a couple of years, a long time, but basically you're saying after doing your hobby as a full-time job, it becomes work. I've been here the longest of everybody in the room currently. It's been 4+ years, and it's still not a job. No, it's, I don't know how to word it better. We literally just play Warhammer all day. And we're not playing Warhammer, we're talking about Warhammer, or painting Warhammer, and it's not bad. What actually keeps it really cool and what's easy for myself, I can't speak for anybody else, is we have so many people coming in that we play different type, maybe it's the same army composition as the last guy, but he plays it differently, he just has a different attitude, or everything is so different from one guest to the next that it keeps it fresh enough. And then we always have the discussion of, like, everybody has their own home meta, right? So having those discussions with our guests about what they do at home, what they see a lot, is a discussion that 4 years in still hasn't got boring for me, and something we still talk to. I say with most, if not all, of our guests that come in, unless we end up on something that is not Warhammer related. Sometimes we get political.
It's pretty lightly political, though.
Yeah. But I mean, like not 100% of the conversations are miniature wargaming related, but near all of them are. Was there something else? Oh, yeah. I don't know. Mitch, he's a teacher.
Yeah, Mitch is a teacher.
See, I know what Mitch does. We don't talk about his job a whole lot because when he comes in, we talk Warhammer. I don't know what kind of teacher. I don't know if it's elementary school, high school, college. I have no idea what he teaches.
I want to say it's high school.
I think so because I know he works around here. He doesn't live around here, but he works around here periodically.
Yep. And then I'm trying to think of other guests that have people request. Kyle is one of them.
Yeah.
Kyle's also a teacher.
Oh, you know what? Clarence, who's also a teacher.
Yep. Vito, who is not a teacher.
He has YouTube videos about how to do his hair. He teaches people to do hair.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, all the greats that come in are teachers, weirdly enough.
Well, because I don't think it's that weird, because typically, if you're going to be a really good guest at MiniWarGaming, you are passionate about your hobby, and it's something that you can sit down and learn about a hobby, like you're willing to put the work in to learn how to do it properly, but you're also well-spoken in front of either a crowd or a camera. Yeah.
Well, see, that's a good thing, too. That's another point. Yeah, I guess the teacher is used to talking in front of people, right? A lot of first-time guests, even though they say they're not nervous being on camera for the first time, you can see that they are.
Yep.
Which, you know, any guest that comes in more than twice is automatically going to be a better video. We know them, we're comfortable with each other, they're more comfortable on camera, we goof around more. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it almost is.
Except for, I find the only one that's not true for is Little Ben.
Little Ben?
He's
Oh no,
terrible.
the more Ben, I can't. See, I rip on him so hard on camera in front of his face, I want to say nothing. I love Ben. But yeah, I give him a hard time all the time on camera. I can't say anything bad about him behind his back, that's just wrong. He's a good guy. But to his face.
He watches the videos, he'll see it.
I know, but does this count? Ben, I hate you, you're a jerk. Harsh. Gary Whiteley. I feel like that's not how you say your name. With Games Workshop discontinuing Kelth and Burning Prospero, just wondering what your thoughts are on this and the future of Horsehair. Also, long live the old world. Yes, sir, long live the old world. I have no idea what's going on with Horsehair. Nobody else does either. I don't know. I feel like I just talked this exact topic to death yesterday. I don't know. Many Forge World items being discontinued. Everything that's not Mark IV, essentially, shoulder pads, I think maybe even helmets, chest plates, getting discontinued. I don't know what this means. Okay, so we know they're part of Games Workshop, yet they're not. We know that they do Horsehair, yet we're seeing. Okay, so they were built off 40K and Horsehair, as far as I'm concerned, but we're seeing nothing but releases for Middle-earth and the Specialist games. Anybody got a different opinion on that? Like, it's like they're working on not the 40K universe.
It's true, but we don't understand what the timeline is.
That's true. We just don't know.
Maybe Forge World is planning. Maybe they plan everything out a year in advance, and people are trying to apply things that they're seeing right now to Forge World. And
yes.
Maybe they are linked, and maybe it's just coincidental. And like I said, you know, they were old molds that they were ready to retire anyways, and it just so happens to coincide with when they're, you know, killing off the production runs.
I hope he isn't here, Josh. But yeah, see, for me, when the Dark Angels were announced in Book 8, called Angelus, and then a year later they're removed from the book, I got really, I don't know, I guess discouraged is the proper word. I'm not working on my 30K Dark Angels at all. I don't even consider them to be on my to-do pile. They're there. I'm not going to get rid of them. I'll do them eventually. But I'll say I personally, even though all this hit has been happening to Horsehair, and the reason why I said I talked about this in length yesterday was right now I'm on a bit of a horse heresy kick. I think horse heresy is just a better game right now for me, and it varies from person to person. But I really enjoy the game. I think it's as balanced as you can get in a miniature wargaming at that scale, anyway. Cheeky Chap, Steve, can we have an orc list with as many bubble chuckers as possible? I think it would be highly amusing, please and thank you. I think we only have 4, but I guess we can, no, we only have 4. I wouldn't do it anyway, because it would annoy me to have so many random things. I don't like anything I can't control on a tabletop game. Yeah, it's too random, especially if you give my opponent things to pick in my shooting phase. Sorry, dude, not for me.
It would take so long to film.
It just wouldn't be fun for me. It would actually frustrate me. There's a reason why I don't play, I don't get into combat very often. I don't like when my opponent gets to roll dice that affect, like, other than, like, saves and stuff. I don't like when my opponent rolls dice on my turn. He's allowed to roll saves, and that's it. Selfish. Yep. Just Marco. Steve, I hope you recovered well from last week's sit and talk. What happened last week's sit and talk? Oh, that was disgusting. First, thank you for the great AOS content you produce. Thank you. I really love the Watchers in Death. Yes, me too. Watchers in Death has been amazing fun for me. My question is there a reason why no one plays Legions of Nagash with Night Haunt units? With the FAQ, this would work, as they all have Legions of Nagash keyword, or are there other death units just better for Legions of Nagash? I can't speak for those players, but if it was me, I wouldn't, just because I'd have a Legions of Nagash army and then have a Night Haunt army. You could. I just don't see the need to. I don't know. Probably because it feels like a separate army. I can't speak for what's in the minds of players that aren't myself. Or I can speak for Josh, though. Plastic Monkey Steve, why are you so paranoid in Matt's games? Oh, there's a reason. I lost my spot. Oh. What has he done to you in the past and what makes you disbelieve everything and thinks he's trying to trick you? Because he is, all the time. You don't understand. Matthew is, I'm going to pick my words very carefully. A jerk. Matthew's a jerk. He loves to mess with you off camera. He'll get you going, get your blood rising. He'll just bring models in the room, and then he'll say something. Oh, I forgot about... I don't know what he said. Yeah, no, he just loves to mess with you off camera. So Matthew, and to his credit, really likes to stoke the flame, really likes to poke me, rile me up, then turn the camera on and start recording my freakouts and meltdowns, which I guess is entertaining for you guys. Unfortunately, not for me or my cardiologist.
I said he won't play against me because he can't do it to me. I do it to him.
Oh, it's true. It's true. It's true. You have another question. Steve, Josh has said many times he enjoys historical gaming, especially around the Cold War era. Have you ever tried this sort of gaming, or are you just sci-fi fantasy? If so, what puts you off, or what do you dislike about historical gaming? If you did give it a go, what sort of periods would you be interested in? I'm not into... Okay, I'm going to have to separate this into... Okay, it's all historical gaming. We'll talk about, like, there's 2 main categories for historical gaming. We'll call it Ancient and World War II. I know that's very, very tip of the iceberg, very, very surface. But that's where my mind will immediately go when I'll talk about this. When we're talking about anything in the World War II era, or even, I guess, Cold War era.
Modern.
Modern?
Modern compared to Ancients.
Okay, okay. So modern, everything looks a little too real. Same reason why I don't like Astra Militarum, as an army. Even though I know it's a little fantastical and things are a little, it's a little more sci-fi, but it's just too real for me, and I don't know. It just doesn't speak to me. Again, it's a little too real, and especially when we get into the World War II stuff. I don't know. I'm not uncomfortable fighting in that kind. I don't know. It's just not for me. The ancient stuff, I could absolutely get behind, especially the regimental warfare. I love it. Except, and this also speaks for the modern stuff. Aaron's joining us too now. Have a seat. I don't wanna. Okay. Except for, wait, what did I just say? I said except and then I lost my train of thought.
You're talking about ancient games.
Okay, yeah. So I would enjoy playing it. There is one thing that holds you back, and it is my number one thing for any kind of miniature gaming I do. It's models first. If the models don't interest me, I have no interest in the game. I will play a bad game if I enjoyed the models and painting them. Yeah, so the modern stuff is a little too real for me, or very real, and I don't really enjoy those miniatures. The ancient stuff, though miniatures are getting better, there are a lot of really bad looking historical gaming miniatures. Though there was one that we picked up, I think I gave it to Josh, Hail Caesar. There was some hoplite stuff that looked really, even actually there was about 2 or 3 armies in there that I thought were really good looking, and I wanted to paint up, but we just for whatever reason, yeah. Well, I tried contacting. It was Warlord Games, right?
Yeah.
I tried contacting them and gotten wouldn't even respond to my emails. So I don't know. So we just moved attention onto other areas. Balthazar 87. At Steve, I have some Volkight weapons modeled on some of my Marines and was wondering what rules you would give Volkight weapons for 8th edition, being as you can't take them for normal Marines. Just a fan of Martian death rays and want to know what your idea is. I was thinking that you'd have slightly less range than a bolter, but an unmodified 6 to wound would get you either... No. See, you're not... Okay, so I'll finish this reading. Unmodified 6 to wound either give you +1 damage or 1 mortal wound in addition to normal damage. I don't like making up rules because you're going to upset somebody. Somebody will think you're doing it for an advantage. I just use them as something else. So the Volkight Charger? Okay, the Volkight Charger is a plasma gun. The Volkight Serpenta is a plasma pistol. The Volkight, what's the longer one?
Caliber, I think?
Is it Caliver? Yeah. Calvern or Caliver? No, Caliver's the big one. Calvern's the big. Okay, so the long rifle one typically makes sense as a plasma gun, but I mean, you can argue it could be a tiny Hellblaster guy. But that one's whatever. He's known as plasma gun. Now the big one, it's a grav gun. Sure, you use it as Josh said plasma cannon. You could use it as a plasma cannon. It just looks like a pretty good grav gun. You're better off calling it something else than writing rules for it. The gaming group as a whole, from my experience, will be more accepting to it. Now, again, maybe your group doesn't care. We'll absolutely do whatever you want. In which case, +1 jam or mortal wound. Mortal wound probably seems really powerful. +1 damage on a 6 to wound makes sense.
The current AdMech, they do have a little bit of Volkight weaponry.
Okay, what do they do?
6 to wound is mortal wound in addition.
Okay, we'll do that. Oh, but that on Marines though. Oh, you know what? We would never do, dude, because Marines are garbage anyway. Ghost Boast. Hi, Steve. Someone, possibly Lucas, said recently that you were the best at MiniWarGaming at taking lists that really shouldn't work and making them work. Is this accurate? Maybe with a caveat. Like back in 7th edition for sure.
I mean, you didn't make Quirk work, so.
I never played them. That's true. Quirk made Quirk work. Well, I mean, Quirk work. On a similar note, do you think there are units that you just shouldn't take? I recall an article by game designer Jarvis Johnson where he argued that no unit is useless. You just have to learn to use it properly. His example was Space Marine Scouts. Having said that, I think he did lose just about every bat rep he played in White Dwarf. Okay, so he's right and wrong in my opinion. Nothing is useless. You can make anything do something, but I absolutely hate when people say just learn to play the army or learn to use X whatever. That's a cop-out statement. Yeah, you can use anything. You can use anything. With enough patience and restraint, anything can do something for you on the table. The only thing about is something useless or not is its point cost. And I think that's what we're all kind of saying when we say something's useless. It's not worth its points. What is the most useless thing in the game? Just off that, something useless. What's the most useless? Drop pods. Okay, drop pods are useless. They really are useless. They got their uses, but they're useless. Now, what if the draw pod was 5 points?
Still useless.
Everybody would have 10 on their list.
No, they wouldn't.
Just to block the table. Its use would now be a 5-point block the table thing. You have to charge through this draw pod. They're useless at 76 points, or 80, whatever points they are now.
I wouldn't say useless. They're very inefficient.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if useless in the term that a lot of us gamers tend to use the term useless as is, yes, useless, but all of a sudden it's 5 points, and now you see its uses. It's not, nothing's useless. These are just extremely overcosted for what they do, or overcosted for what they do. The Danish Viking Alex. Steve, I just watched new Beastman battle report. Finally, the true Children of Chaos has gotten some love from Games Workshop. I liked your list, but you said in the report that the models on the board were all that was painted. Are you or someone else in the process of painting more? And can we expect to see a grand scale army that would make all the Chaos Gods proud? Happy Wargaming. Yes, I'm painting them, but I hurt my hand. My painting is severely slowed at the moment, but Firestorm's not a secret, right? Because I just said Firestorm. We're doing Firestorm campaign. It's not a secret anymore. I'll be playing Beast of Chaos in that campaign, which I think is going to start in a couple of weeks, which means you'll see it in
Start filming.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. Which means you'll see it in anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, I would say. Oh, wait a minute, unless something else goes in between. Do you know if anything's going in between? Josh does all the scheduling and that kind of stuff, so like I don't know. So, and it could whatever he says now could change in a week because of whatever reason.
My current plans is there is something in between, but Matt is Matt.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't know. You'll see more soon, but I wouldn't expect to see the army grow as fast as I typically do stuff. I can't paint as fast at the moment. Wait, did I get the right one? Yes, Dragon 11. I know I'm a little late to the party, but what would be a good starting army for AOS? Something that's easy to learn, but one that will also get some wins. I have some Warriors of Chaos and Beast models left over from that dead universe, but I'm not sure what to do in this new realm. Well, if you have Warriors of Chaos and Beastmen, then go with that. Why buy new stuff if you don't know how to play the game? Yeah, use what you got. Because Beasts of Chaos are so new, they can't ally with the Warriors of Chaos yet. But the Warriors of Chaos, as Slave to Darkness, can ally with the Beastmen. So have the Beastmen your primary force, and bring in the Warriors of Chaos. Are you going to win games? No. I don't know what you have. Play to lose. Play with the intent of losing a bunch, and then you'll learn how to win with what you have. And then you can expand, buy stuff. If you're dead set on buying a whole new army, I would probably recommend, well, depending on the type of person you are, for me, it's models first. Something that really speaks to you, something you want to paint, go with that. Short of that, I'd pick something that has a new battle tome. So anything that battle tome came out in 2nd edition, there's one battle tome that came out in 1st edition that's worth including in the list. It'd be the Deepkin. Oh no, did Megakin come out in 1st edition?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you had to have. It came out before Deepkin, I think. Oh, and Daughters. Okay, so here. Try to stick to Megakin, Daughters of Cain, Deepkin, Stormcast Eternals, Night Hunt, Legions of Nagash, or Beastmen. Something with a new style battle tome. There might be a few I'm missing, but something with a new style battle tome. You'll find more in depth. There's more things in the battle tomes. They're just more fleshed out, or more lores and relics. So go with one of the new ones like I just said. How close were we? I'll go a little bit longer. Big Mikey, Steve, if you could take lore from one game, hey Lee, everybody's here. Just doing a sit and doc. From one game and gameplay mechanics from another one, what would they be and why? Thanks for all you do. Ooh, I wouldn't mix games. Take lore from one game and gameplay mechanics from another. Okay, so every now and then I think that Games Workshop needs to move away from the D6 system. I hope they never actually do, because I think the massive undertaking that they would have to do to actually change everything over would open up a bunch of holes, and it would take years to smooth those out. Create a bunch of wrinkles. But I think ultimately it could have been... I think the D6 system has trouble... Not trouble. You know what? This is a whole... I'd like to see an idea of 40K on a D10 system. Not a D20, maybe a D10 system. However, I acknowledge right now that that might not work for the 40K universe. I just be interested to see how it could work. The lore, I know you guys hear me talk about the game Dark Age a lot. The lore for that game is actually quite interesting. But for me, nothing beats the lore. Like, I'm a huge Warhammer Fantasy fan. Like, that's my #1 game. But the lore of the Heresy is by far and away the best. The Age of Forgotten Heroes, like it's the old 40K universe lore. It's just the best. So you can just put that in any game. The Danish Viking Alex at Steve. Hope you're back as well. A few questions. What do you think? Wait, why do you think the Deepkin is broken? Is Chris still at MiniWarGaming? No, he left, and that was whoa. I feel like it's been for. Oh no, I'm kidding. He's just in the next room. Chris, you there? He's probably napping. Yeah, no, Chris. I don't know if everybody knows exactly what Chris is doing at the moment. Chris is working on a whole massive big project that when you like, I just don't know enough to speak about. I know it's just so different from everything he's done previously. Is probably the reason why you haven't seen many of his videos or any at all. Have you been putting up quick tips? Okay, yeah. So no, Chris is still absolutely a big part of MiniWarGaming. He is working hard right now to the point where he's actually ignoring me, even through our communication hole.
Headphones.
He's wearing headphones? Oh, okay. You can't hear me at all. Oh, he's sleeping. But yeah, no, he's working on something massive for you guys. Why do I think Deepkin is broken? It's hard. Okay, so Deepkin have some of the greatest mobility in all of AOS right now, which is, in miniature games, is a big deal. They have just really solid stats for the points they pay. They can't even, you can't, so I put a Deepkin army on the table next to a 2,000 point anybody else army. The Deepkin army is way smaller, but even still, even that elite army is still like little to no casualties by turn 3 or 4, where the other opponent's army is mostly dead. They are just really good stats and abilities for what they do. They're just very solid units. It feels like they don't have a weakness. Oh, and being able to control your opponent's shooting is a huge deal. If you're patient with Deepkin and just assaulting your opponent's army all on turn 3, okay, here, I can boil it down to this statement. Deepkin is broken, for lack of a better term. When I say broken, I mean they're super strong. Deepkin are super strong because they break 2 game mechanics. 1, you can't pick who you shoot at. For most armies, that's huge. And 2, on turn 3, they're completely ignoring the rules for fighting. And it's not I go, you go. We're all fighting first. Now, I know you're used to that on 40K. You charge, you go first. But that is not a mechanic in Age of Sigmar. If you break that mechanic in this game, and your whole army fights first, and you all have good stats, and you have, after good stats, tons of ways of buffing it and rerolls, you're going to do very well. That's why they're super strong. They break 2 core game mechanics. And I think I'm going to end it there, but I'm going to talk about, I'm going to answer some more questions in the MiniWarGaming Vault. I'll continue reading these questions. Now, remember, Luca is next week. Make sure you leave the comments on miniwargaming.com on this video so he can read them. You can address them to Mr. the Dice or Luca. Ask him anything. And if you're already a Vault member, you can click the link below. Get yourself a 7-day free trial to watch me talk more about the stuff I'm talking about now. Thank you for watching, and happy wargaming.